Okay, in this video we want to write an equation in the form of y equals mx plus b, which we know is the equation of a line, to model a linear relationship between two quantities using verbal, numerical, tabular, and graphical representation. This is Texas T 8.5i, Mr. Taylor here, and we will continue on with our run through these 8th grade math teaks. Definitions, and by now we should be very comfortable with the definition of a slope, the y-intercept. What do we mean by a linear relationship? What linear non-proportional relationships are, and this is something that I want to be able to make sure that I reiterate with you, that a linear non-proportional relationship means that your line will not pass through the origin. It will have a y-intercept other than 0. So equations in the form of y equals mx plus b is used to represent relationship between two quantities. We have any rational number coefficient and constants, and we use various representations. Verbal, which means we can use a sentence to describe it. We can use a table of values, x, y, whether that's horizontal or vertical. We can use a graph to represent it, as well as a symbolic algebraic equation. So let's go to an example right quick. I'm going to try and do this in one video, but it's a great possibility that it may take two. Autumn has a job at a local grocery. She works the same hours and receives the same amount on her paycheck each week. Autumn deposited the full amount of each paycheck into her checking account and had decided not to spend any money or add any other additional money to her account. After depositing her second paycheck, the balance of her checking account was $456.55. After depositing her fifth paycheck, the balance of her checking account was $826.09. So it asks us to write an equation of a line in the form of y equals mx plus b to model this relationship. Okay, so what they're telling us, and this is something that we have the ability, and I know we have the ability to do, that her balance of her checking account was $456.55. After depositing her fifth paycheck, the balance was $826.09. Okay. So how would we go about solving this particular problem? Well, we need to find slope. So they gave us two things. They said second paycheck, which was x, and the balance was $456.55. So literally that's giving us, let's write it up here. That's giving us 2, 456.55. Okay, that's one ordered pair. And then it said after her fifth paycheck, she had, so fifth is x, and she had 826.09. So now we can find slope just simply by using the slope formula, which we know as m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So here we go. So if we find slope, then we're going to take the second value of x, which is 5, minus the first value of x, which is 2. This is what they did here. And the second value of y minus the first value of y. All right, so here we go with 826 minus 456.55, and then of course divided by 5 minus 2. And when we do so, we will get 369.54 divided by 3, and if we divide, we'll get 123.18 to 1, which would give us a slope of $123.18. Now, once we found slope, remember that's just the M part of the equation. We now need to find the B part, which is the y-intercept. So the B represents the balance in her account when she begins depositing her weekly paycheck. So determine the y-intercept using the slope at a given point. So we know what the slope is, 123.18. Then we go back and find, we can use either one of these points, this one, or should I say this one or this one. And the author chose to do 2. We could have used 5, but 2 seems to be the easiest one, so let's go with 2. So our formula, y equals mx plus b, say we need y. So as we talked once before, y is just simply the output. So here we're using y as 456.55, and we're just substituting, plugging those in, and x is 2. So that means now, since I've substituted my formulas in, I'll have 456.55 is equal to 123.18 times 2 plus b. So I'm going to multiply here. I'll get 246.36 plus b. I need to isolate b. You know what that means. That means I need to get b by itself. So I'm going to subtract, because that is a positive. So to isolate b, I have to do the opposite. So I'm going to subtract 246.36 from both sides of the equal sign. And when I do so, that's going to give me $210.19 as my b. Okay? Now, once we do that, we just go back in and use the M that we solved for with 123.18 and the B that we solved for, and say that our formula is 123.118 plus 210.19, and that's what our slope of the equation of the line would be. Notice here at the bottom, the author went on and used the other one just to prove to you that either one of these would work. So he used the ordered pair 5 and 826.09, and we still got the same 210.19. So the only thing with this problem that you have to understand, if you're given just 2 points, you first got to find slope and then use one of the points to be able to find b. Okay, let's move along. So the second example says, after each paycheck, Leah transferred $84.12 from her checking account to her savings account. After the third month, the balance of Leah's savings account was $267.34. So again, they're asking us to write the equation of a line. Now notice something here. The 884.12 says this is how much she transferred from her checking account to her savings account. And after the third month, this is her balance. So we're looking at a transfer amount and then a balance amount. I'm more than sure you might want to think, well, maybe the 267.34 will be our Y, and maybe 84.12 will be our slope, and maybe 3 will be our X. Well, let's see if that thought pattern works. Okay, so the y-intercept, which is B, represents the balance in her account before she began her checking. So we have to determine the y-intercept. The constant rate of change is, like we said, 8412. So then we have a given order pair says 3 and 267.34. So again, we were right. This is our Y. So 3, the third month, is our X. And of course, the 267.34 is our Y. So the balance on our savings account depends on the number of transactions. Of course, we know that. So here we go with Y equals MX plus B. This is our equation of the line. And we're going to substitute the value of M, which is the slope, and the values of X and Y. So my Y, remember, is 267.34. My slope times 3, which was my X, plus B. Now I'm going to wind up with 8412 times 3, which will give me 252 and 36 cents, plus B. I'm going to subtract, because again, I'm isolating B. So in isolating B, this is a positive, so we need to do the opposite, which is subtract from 267.35, or should I say from both sides of the equal sign. And I'm going to get B, which is what she began with, what she began before she started her savings, of $14.98. So my equation comes to Y is equal to $84.12 X plus $14.98. Okay, move right along. Now, anytime that you might want to stop these, and if you like to, at this point, you might want to see, can you work this problem, and then start the video back. All right, so a local charity for children decided to transition from their door-to-door fundraising effort to a text-to-donate mobile fundraising effort. An individual can text the charity's unique 6-digit code to donate a specified amount, which will then be added to the donor's monthly cell phone bill. Every text-to-donate text donates the same amount. When the charity began the text-to-donate fundraising, they had already collected $311.95. After receiving 21 text-to-donate texts, the collection balance was $422.20. Okay, so now let's taking a look at what they're giving us in the problem. It's telling us that when they began, they had $311.95. So you want to think about this. You want to think about, will this be Y or will this be B? Let's just say it's B, because this is what they had already collected. And receiving 21 texts, well, let's say that the balance depends on the text amount, so let's call 21 X. And after the 21 texts, they had $422.20. So let's call that Y. All right, so let's see how we will work this. Okay, so we'll have to find the slope. So again, we began with $311.95. So that is definitely, like we said earlier, that's our y-intercept. So we know when the y-intercept has a B balance, our X is 0. So that gives us the ordered pair 0 and 311.95. And then after 21, we have 422.20 after 21 texts. So that's the second ordered pair. And then we can go on from there to find the slope. So X sub 1, X sub 2, Y sub 1, Y sub 2. Let me write this down, make sure we understand what we're doing. So we have X sub 1, X sub 2, Y sub 1, Y sub 2. Now we take this with our slope formula, subtract the second Y by the first Y, second x by the first x, and we will come up with 422.20 minus 311.95 divided by 21 minus 0. Once we do the math here, we will get 110.25 over 21 divide, we'll get $5.25. Okay, as their slope. So what do this 525 represent? Well, that's how much each particular person or each text message donate each time that they do the text to donate. So that's the amount, 525, and we can go on and write our formula because we know what our y-intercept is. So we can write our formula as y is equal to 5.25x plus 311.95. Now, you notice the second method that the author gave us is, since we knew what a y was and we knew what b was, we knew those already from what they've given us in the problem, then we can take these two, substitute these in our formula, and from there we can, because now we're trying to solve for m. Up here we were trying to find m, but we can solve for m by plugging into the formula. So we'll subtract 311.95 from both sides so we can get the 21m by itself. And once we do that, we can divide both sides by 25 and we'll still get the 5.25m. So two ways of looking at it. Both ways give us the same slope, and then of course the actual slope formula. Okay, so what we'll do here is, before we go to numerical approach to looking at it, we'll go ahead and stop at this point, and then we'll pick this up again in part 2. Remember, if you have any questions about what we're doing in class, you can bring them to class or leave a comment. And remember, these will also be put in our Google Classroom.